What is up, guys? Smooth here, back with another video, and today I have something very special for you all. So this might look like Minecraft, but perhaps like a beta version or an alpha version of the game, but what this actually is an open source version that's completely unrelated. It's not owned by Mojang, and it's not even written in Java. It's written in C++, and best of all, it's entirely free. Now, if you see me look around like this, again, you'll notice a lot of similarities, but you'll also start noticing a lot of differences. So I'm going to try to explain as much of this as possible to you guys. I came across it a couple weeks ago. I decided I'd do a video on it, so in case any of you guys were interested in getting Minecraft but didn't want to spend the 30 bucks and were maybe considering it in the future, this would be a good way to kind of get your feet wet with what the game would be like. So again, there are many differences in this as opposed to basic Minecraft, and I'm going to try to explain all of it right now. So again, it is written in C++ instead of Java, and it's completely open source, so it does make modding a whole lot easier. Also, it doesn't have any mobs in it currently unless you get it doesn't have any mobs in it unless you get mods. So at the moment, it's almost basically on easy mode. Now I'm going to actually show you an important command if you're in creative mode, because it's about to turn nighttime. So you just press slash and you just type in time 6000, and that'll set it back to day. It also functions a little bit differently in that if you want to sprint, you don't double tap W the way you normally would in Minecraft. You actually have toggle buttons for it. So you have J, which as you can see at the bottom middle over there, it says fast move disabled. So if you see the way I move, it's way slower. It's almost turtle-like in the way things are done. So let me press J once again, and you'll see I can move fast. And also you have K, which will disable my ability to fly, and now I can only jump. If I press K again, I'll be able to fly like normal. Now, to give yourself the running and flying command, you're going to have to type in the following. You'll type in slash grant singleplayer fly. Just like that. And that'll give me the ability to fly. So on the same thing for sprinting, you just type in slash grant singleplayer fast. And again, I'm already in both modes, so it didn't affect anything, but that's exactly how you would do it. So let's start looking at some of the blocks that this has to offer. Again, there are 234 different blocks. I tried to show all of them in here, so hopefully I didn't miss any, but I'm pretty sure I got them all. So here you have just your basic regular chest. It functions almost entirely the same as it does in Minecraft, but just a little bit of a different interface, nothing too different. You'll notice that this one has a different lock than this one. This is actually a lock chest. It's only for, it's basically made so that way only you can use it. So in single player, it doesn't have any real effect. It's the exact same in terms of functionality with this one. But if you're on a server, this will only be accessible by you. All right, so let's get to this next part over here. So this is what a boat looks like in Minetest. It's kind of odd looking. I'm actually not crazy about it at all, and it also functions a little bit weird, but that's the gist of how you do it. You also ride it the same way. You would just right click on it, and now I'm riding it. You can move back and forth on it just like that. I'd say it's similar to the old school movement of how boats would go. You don't have that rowing action. Well, let me just get off of it. There we go. Before I actually continue the review, there's something that's also very interesting. If I was to break a block, you'll see it appears in my inventory. You won't actually have the block appear on the floor, but there are a couple exceptions to that. So if I place this grass block over here, for example, and I break this block right below it, you'll notice that it'll come on the ground just like that. But if I go on top of it, I can't actually pick it up. The way you pick it up is you hover over its little box just like that, and you're gonna left click, and it's now in your inventory. So again, a little small nuance, but it was a little bit confusing when I started, but it got a lot easier once I did a little bit of practice. So you have two different kinds of bed. You have a regular bed like this, and you have a fancy bed. They have different crafting recipes, but they essentially don't have any major difference. They do exactly the same thing. This one just looks a little bit cooler. It has like a nice little mini headboard. So nothing too crazy with that. Now over here you have different types of buckets and different kinds of contents in the bucket. So you have an empty bucket, a lava bucket, and river water, as well as a water bucket. So they actually have two different types of water in this version of the game, and this is what they look like. So you have, this is what lava looks like in a little pool, this is river water, and this is regular water. All right, let's head back over here, and this is basically all the foliage that the game has to offer. So I tried to put all of them here like this. The way you can access all this stuff, like your inventory and whatnot, is you would press I, and you can scroll through all this stuff over here. There's not any really major rhyme or reason. You'll see like all the foliage is kind of scattered about in a bunch of different directions. So I just kind of picked them all out and I put them across here, but it does have a lot of the basic stuff that you would find in Minecraft. And this gigantic cactus over here. Over here you have 4 different types of woods. This one is acacia. You have like, I think this one over here is jungle wood. This one is, I want to say, oh, this one is, I think, regular wood, and one of these might be like pine, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Almost all the blocks in this game have half slabs, which I really like. So you'll see again, this one has the log block, the actual plank, a stair, and the plank itself. So if you look around, there's 4 of these, and then you have obsidian. You even have an obsidian stair and an obsidian plank as well. And these are basically obsidian stone. So you'll see again, I'll just go through all these. You don't need to really know exactly what all of them are, because that'll take quite a while to get through all of them. But it does offer you quite a selection. So if you're the type of person that likes to do a lot of intricate designs and you're definitely a builder, this will be something that you can definitely appreciate. So let's see, again, just go through a couple of them over here. I like the brick design here. It actually looks really clean. You have 4 different kinds of dirt. This one was actually, I believe, just regular dirt, but it's spread from this one. I forget the names of, this one is like moss covered or mycelium, I'm not sure exactly. And then you have this one over here. Here you have a bookcase. This is actually what a bone block looks like. This is kind of like a random drop, since you, I'm not sure, random drop or random spawn. I forget exactly how this comes to be. I made this in creative, but basically, since you can't kill mobs, this will spawn somehow. Again, a couple more different blocks over here. Here you have the different kinds of ore. You also have copper ore in this one, which you wouldn't find in normal Minecraft. Now, this is a really odd block over here. It's called the messy block, and here is called the messy lamp. It's spelled M-E-S-E. These really aren't anything particularly special. I believe this is considered the 3rd rarest block in the game, but it's basically like an artifact from when the developer was creating something. He just wanted to make something kind of rare and unique and decided to leave this in the game after everything was said and done. This is a mossy cobblestone block, and this is the oddest thing that they decided to actually add into Minetest. It's a Nyan Cat block. So most of you are probably familiar with Nyan Cat. It's like the old meme. And it looks pretty much like a Nyan Cat. And if you go and jump into the back of it, you'll see it has like a little tail and legs as well. I'll get to it over here. So this is actually the rarest block in the game. I think it's, I forget, it's like 10 times rarer than the actual messy block that you saw over there. And when you find one of these, you'll see these rainbow blocks will be somewhere in proximity of the Nyan Cat block. Doesn't really have any function, but it does look pretty cool. I just made this little design to kind of look like the actual Nyan Cat version. All right. So then you have some more blocks over here. Here you have some different kinds of panes, a couple different kinds of doors. This one doesn't actually require any sort of redstone power to open it. Another door here, trapdoor, TNT, glass. Here you have some iron bars and a fence. Here's some interesting kind of glassware that you can store different, I think they're going to change this eventually, but I think you'll be able to hold different kinds of fluids in these. Here you have a furnace, and here you have 15 different types of wool blocks. So you do have a pretty good amount of variety in terms of what you're able to use to build, and a lot of the stuff in this mod is, well, not mod rather, but in this version of Minetest, or Minecraft, whatever you want to call it, is very colorful. So again, lots of options. Let's get into these chests over here, because we do have a handful of items now. So this is sort of the miscellaneous items chest. So here, I'll just go through all of them so you guys can get a feel of things. You have flour, cotton, bread, red mushroom spores, brown mushroom spores, cotton seed, wheat seed, messy crystal, paper, book, obsidian shard, fire, river water source, lava source, wheat, messy crystal fragment, which these would use to be making to make the messy block, an apple, rails, ladder, sign, gunpowder. I'm going to show you guys what this does. This is actually pretty cool. Piles of glass fragments, snow, and a stick. So what this actually is essentially this version of redstone in the game. So you can actually like place gunpowder, and I don't think it's like functional redstone yet. I think you just would use this to light TNT, as far as I know. I do like the little curvature it has. It actually looks pretty aesthetically pleasing. Oh, also something I didn't mention earlier. You'll notice that in the bottom middle of over here, you actually don't have a limit of 64 blocks in an inventory slot. It's actually 99. So that is pretty convenient, as it does allow you to hold a little bit more stuff. All right, let's look into this next chest over here. Here are the different types of axe. You have a bronze axe, diamond, messy axe, steel, stone, and wooden. Over here, again, you have the same thing. These are all the different types of pickaxe, same different ores. Here are the shovels, the different types of swords, different types of hoes, and here are, again, the different types of ingots and stuff like that. So, like, for example, you have iron lumps, gold lumps, diamond, copper, coal, clay, etc. Some of these are not complete, like this one, diamond doesn't actually have an ingot version. It strictly has a diamond and a diamond block. Same thing for iron lumps. You don't actually have an iron block or an iron ingot. I believe they consolidate into like steel, which I think I forgot to put in here. But I think it's somewhere. I think I ended up leaving that somewhere in one of these because I think you have steel stairs, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's this over here. So it's like steel, steel stairs, and a steel slab. Alrighty, let's see which chest was I on. This one. All right, there. So next one is this one. Oh yeah, and here are the different types of dyes to make the wool blocks that you saw earlier. And finally, we're gonna look at this thing over here. This is basically a screwdriver, and you can use this to rotate blocks. So let's use it on this chest. Oops, actually, let's do it on something a little bit more noticeable. Let's use it on the stair block. So if I use it on this right over here, I just right click and it will rotate it. This is something that some people have been asking for in Minecraft for quite a while, and it's a pretty cool block to have. It makes manipulating blocks really easy, although I'd imagine if you had a ton of these in your world, in Minecraft at least, it would probably lag things really badly since you have to have so much extra block data for it. Let's quickly change the time back to daytime, just like that. So pretty cool thing. I would definitely like to have this in regular Minecraft if it was an option. Also worth noting is that this game loads much faster than Minecraft for the most part, and it also has some pretty interesting world generation. So you see over here, it does look a little bit plain. That's partially because it is lacking the same amount of blocks as Minecraft does, but you do have some really awesome like terrain generation. So again, if you guys want to play like a free version of Minecraft, this is definitely a nice introduction. If I had not already bought Minecraft, you know, a long time ago, and I wasn't was a little bit hesitant on whether or not I wanted to do it, this would probably be the way that I would go. So let's get back down over here, and I made this little house to show you guys what things kind of would look like. So I have like two signs over here, a nice little wooden structure. So let's open these doors. All right, so here you have your little bed. I have some bookshelves over here, some torches. The torches are very two-dimensional. You'll see, like, you know, if I stand from like this, it almost completely disappears, but they do give off light. So if I was to remove them, for example, yeah, it gets really dark in here. Little furnace in here, and down here I have a trapdoor with a little chest inside. So as you can see, there's a lot you can do with this. It's it definitely has a lot of capabilities. I'm going to try to leave as much information in the description in terms of like servers and mods and stuff like that, as well as a download link so you guys can check this out. But this is definitely something really cool that I recommend you all check out. You know, it's something that you can definitely have some fun experimenting with. And also, if you're a mod creator, since this is entirely open source, there's a lot you can do in terms of just getting a full creative control over anything that you want to add to the game. Anyway, guys, that was the gist of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope maybe you guys can share this with some friends or some family, because if they're not familiar with Minecraft, and maybe you want to try to bring them into the world, this would be a nice way to kind of get them to experience it for free, since you know, for some people, spending $30 on something that they're not familiar with at all might be a little bit prohibitive. So definitely something that I think is worth for most people to check out. Anyway, guys, this is Smooth. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, as it does help me out a lot, and subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one in the future. I'll see you all later, guys. Take it easy.